Let's move on now. After slipping for 7 days in a row, the Indian currency, the rupee, finally crossed the psychological mark of 80 to a dollar today morning. At 9:10 a.m. IST, the rupee was trading at 80.01 a dollar, down 0.03% from its previous close. It opened at 79.99 and touched a fresh record low of 80.02. The rupee crossed a psychologically significant level of 80 after crude oil surge on concerns about tighter supplies globally. The Indian Central Bank, Reserve Bank of India, has taken a number of steps in the recent past to strengthen the Indian currency, but the rupee is continuously sliding on account of outflow by foreign funds. The lure of higher interest rates in the US, high crude oil prices and increasing dollar demand for travel and trade. Overnight, the crude oil surged over 5% after Saudi Arabia declined to commit to output increases following a visit by US President Joe Biden and a disruption along a key pipeline. Now, to understand what the declining trend of the rupee means for most of us, our business editor Sumit Chaturvedi is now joining us live from New Delhi. Sumit, thanks for joining us. Just for the sake of our viewers, explain what this continuous decline of the Indian currency means for the everyday consumer.
Well, definitely many things are going to be become expensive and many things will become cheaper. First of all, let's take a look at the items or the sectors that will be impacted negatively. Let's talk about petroleum. For India, the petroleum bill is the highest. It imports 80% of its crude, and that's what the bill is going to now increase. For people who are going to travel abroad or study abroad, definitely the cost for them is also going to increase further. That's why the depreciating rupee, and that's the impact going to be. All the items that are imported are going to be costly. For every $1, now we have to pay more rupee. That's what it essentially means, and that's India's trade deficit will also widen as a result of depreciating rupee. It has been happening from the last 7 days, but today the psychologically important 80 to a dollar mark has been breached, and that's the big news today. On the other hand, there are some sectors which are going to get benefit of this. First is the sectors that actually exports a lot, which means IT sector. India's IT, shining IT sector, is going to gain because of depreciating rupee, because they are going to get more rupee for the dollar. Also, textile sector is big. One of the biggest advantage will be to people who are settled abroad and are sending money back to India. They're going to get more bang for the buck. They're going to clearly get more money for every dollar or dirham they send back to India. So that's clearly how the overall thing is based. But some items will be expensive, like solar equipment, telecom equipment. All of these things which are imported a lot will become expensive, but things which are exported into other countries, they are going to be definitely become cheaper and beneficial for the owners or the promoters for the companies here.
Right. Sumit, another question that needs to be asked is, what is the primary reason or reasons behind this declining trend in the Indian rupee, and is this only temporary?
Well, it started from Ukraine-Russia war. The war began and crude prices jumped a lot, and since then the crude prices are since February are 30 to 40% up. Clearly, we are paying more. More dollar is needed to be paid for international crude, and that's what has led to the biggest increase in demand for dollar. Second, today's main slipping of rupee below 80 is the result of FDI, which is going back to US. Capital in US, the interest rates are rising, and that's why the capital flight is happening from India back to US, and that is leading to flight of dollars. Also, there's a demand for travel and trade, which is another reason for all of that. So clearly, these are the reasons because of which there's a demand in dollar. RBI, Reserve Bank of India, as I'm standing here in New Delhi outside its headquarters here, it took a lot of steps last week before that also, but it couldn't stop the inevitable, and finally it has happened. It has reached 80 to a dollar mark today finally.
Right, Sumit, thanks so much for all those inputs, and thanks for joining us on WION at this hour. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.